What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade. And one of the worst feelings you can have in the Division 2 is when you realize you made a major mistake or you accidentally did something you didn't mean to, which I guess is also considered a mistake. Whatever. The point is this. I unfortunately hear from people almost on a daily basis saying, what the f just happened? Like I was trying to reconfigure or craft an exotic and I thought I had it, now it's gone, and I think I deconstructed it. What do I do to get it back? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is not a damn thing you can do to get that thing back. It is gone forever, but hopefully today's video will help you avoid making that mistake again. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well. And the first thing I want to mention right out of the gate as we start this video is anytime you get something in the game you've been trying to get for a minute, the first thing you need to do is immediately go into your inventory and mark it as a favorite. That way you cannot accidentally deconstruct it. And of course, I want to give you an example really quick. So we're going to open up 3 exotic caches. We have the Ninja Bike. Next, we have the Dread Edict. And finally, what do we got? We have the Mantis. Now, here's the thing. I happen to already have these exotics, but I want to show you an example of how you mark it as a favorite. So you can see I scroll down, and right here on the screen, there is that indication that says mark as. I'm going to press that, and then I'm going to mark the item as a favorite so I don't accidentally do something stupid, which I happen to do all the time. Those are facts, my friends. Those are just facts. So now it's marked as a favorite. So now when I go through the rest of my inventory, I do not need to worry about accidentally breaking that item down. So at this point, we are going to go to weapons really quick. I do want to break down the, the Mantis, yeah, and the Dread Edict to get those exotic components. And do me a favor, if you'd like to see a video on some of the best ways to get exotic components in the game, let me know in the comment section. I will put something together really quick. Now we're going to make our way to the backpack, and the other thing you need to make sure when you have multiple versions of the same exotic, please make sure you take a moment and verify you are deleting the correct one, which takes us to the topic of expertise, because unfortunately when people aren't paying attention and they delete duplicate exotic items and you wind up deleting the wrong one, it means you're going to need to level up your expertise on that new version, and that is the worst possible feeling. And of course I want to show you another example. So in this case, we're going to use the waveform, and you can see the one I have is at expertise level 3 and the other 2 have 0 expertise whatsoever. So to be very clear, when an additional version of an exotic you already have drops, it's not going to have the same level of expertise that you may have on a current version. Now, the reason that's relevant is because I hear from people saying, I finally got the version of an exotic I was looking for. It's completely god-rolled, so I broke down the old one, but when I went back and looked at the new one, all my expertise was gone. That is going to happen, my friends. New exotics will not drop with a level of expertise you may currently have on a version you're holding, so once again, be very, very careful of exactly what you deconstruct. Last but not least today, my fellow agents, we are going to talk about the reconfiguration of exotic weapons. And for those of you that may not know, a few title updates back, the game introduced a new feature where you could reconfigure an exotic weapon and get a random third attribute. And I know some of you are thinking that was always the case. It was only the case for some of the newer weapons, older weapons like the Scorpio, Lady Death, and like the Capacitor. Had all 3 attributes locked, so no matter how many times you reconfigured an item, the same 3 attributes would show up. That is no longer the case, and again, I want to show you an example. So I'm going to use the Diamondback, and you can see this is at expertise level 2, and I don't really like the stability. I'd rather, let's say, be damage to armor, okay? So the first thing that happens is when I try to reconfigure it, I met with a warning from the game saying, are you sure you want to do this? Like, it's a favorite item of yours. Are you sure? Now, my answer is yes, because I want to show you an example of what I'm referring to, so we're going to craft one. Now, here's what happens. Even though it says craft, you are not actually crafting an additional one. You are reconfiguring the one you currently have, which in essence means you are destroying one version and creating another, which makes it a brand new item. Now, again, the reason that is relevant is because I still hear from people on almost a daily basis saying, I didn't get the version I wanted, so I broke it down, and then I tried to, craft another, and it was gone. And once again, I know I'm saying that a lot, but that is because you didn't create a new one. You're basically, think of it this way, you're basically re-rolling the same one over and over until you get the version you want. So in this case, I finally got one that had damage to armor. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my inventory and mark it as a favorite, because the game does now consider this a new item, even though it is the same one I had a moment ago, just re-rolled over and over. And the good thing is that when you reconfigure an exotic item in the game, you will keep that original expertise, which obviously we do not want to lose. Hope this video helps you out, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we do have giveaways here. You can see our current one is for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced July 4th of this year. On that note, I want to thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.